Hey, this is John Carlos, and I am here with a look at the NECA Ultimate Griff Tannen action figure from Back to the Future Part 2. This will have a regular release somewhere down the line, but for right now, this is available at Target as a part of the Target Haul-a-thon. It feels like it's been a while since we were first teased with that little photo of Griff on the back of the previous Back to the Future packaging. But now we finally have Griff, and I gotta say, I am mostly quite delighted by how he turned out. Especially when it comes to the actual figure's outfit. I think there's some really good sculpting on this figure. In particular, the jacket, which in the movie has raised sections of these black lines. And I really appreciate the work that NECA did to sculpt those raised lines on this little jacket. The effect is really good and feels pretty screen accurate. They also did a pretty good job painting his little mesh top. Some nice details on like his belt and his glove and whatever this is in Back to the Future 2. When I was a kid, I just thought, wow, look, he's so futuristic. He's got this doodad on his arm. And then you get older and you're like, it's just yak. Just random tech yak. Nice detail on his boots too, as far as like the little buckles and straps, the little spike, the little gray edges of his boots. If you do not like the whole NECA diaper thing that they do with figures, which I don't really have a problem with, but with his baggy pants, this diaper does read extra diapery. Still, there's some good details like on the belt. The texture of the pants looks really good. And then the head. What a great expression here. They did a damn good job capturing his yell. I mean, the teeth, the shape of the mouth, those laugh lines, the furrowed brow here, just everything about this, the wrinkling right there on the forehead. This is a great Griff head. The little metal helmet thing that he wears is pretty well done. The hair paint and texturing looks good, but that expression is a damn near perfect Griff expression. And some good skin shading too. This is really solid stuff. Now with the accessories, it was nice of NECA to include an alternate Biff head with their Griff figure. At first I thought, well, this is a Griff head. You just like switch the helmet on, take it off this head and put it on here, right? But it doesn't have the straps going around it, and it doesn't look like any expression that Griff ever makes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very much a Biff head. Which is actually kind of in line with the rest of the Back to the Future NECA figures that have previously come with accessories that don't actually go with the figure they come with. So this is just consistent with the rest of the series. If anything, I do wish they had included an alternate Griff head, something where his mouth isn't so wide and he has those big bug eyes, because he sure does pop his eyes when they're in Cafe 80s and he's talking to Marty. We do get his bat, which I wish actually like retracted and expanded. The packaging even refers to it as a telescoping bat, and I wish it actually telescoped. But the actual details on it are quite nice. It's a nice sculpt, some good paint right there with the text on the bat. And lastly, we get his hoverboard, the Pit Bull, which is really cool. The pegs are on it, so like you will always see those pegs. So if you want to have him holding it as a prop, like tucked under his arm or something, I think those pegs might be a little, unsightly or whatever. But some pretty good details on here, all things considered. Be delicate with it. I feel like these little things are going to snap right off. But the red and gray paint on the bottom are good. His little rocket jets are very well done, considering how little they are. The whole bottom of the board has some nice details to it. And then the top section with the little straps on the back, they don't detach, they're just sculpted on. And the artwork of the Pit Bull itself looks good. He comes with this little stand that plugs in to the bottom of the board. The Marty hoverboard, before when I had it, you'd plug this in and it would just pop the hoverboard off and it would barely stay plugged in. But so far, just messing with this, at least this plug stays tight in this hole. We'll see how it goes, in use. I've got the ball all the way in and the hoverboard on top didn't pop off, so that's a good sign. And the board is staying on the stand when Griff is on the board. Griff is not falling off. Nothing is falling apart. I am very happy and satisfied with this hoverboard and just pretty much everything about the way this display works. The foot peg came off the hoverboard and stayed attached to my figure's foot, so thankfully that little hoverboard piece plugs right back in and doesn't affect my overall opinion of the figure, which is quite positive. I really like this figure. A lot of good detail in the sculpt, really strong paint, and pretty good articulation. Like, I didn't really get into it, but the basic ankle and knee joints are all good. The double elbow joints are really good for gripping the bat, and I appreciate that there isn't just a mid-torso crunch, but the waist joint is also a ball joint, so you can bend him down quite a bit. Like, you can get some pretty good poses out of this figure. Now, one could also make the argument, though, that this doesn't come with a lot of accessories. But having seen Back to the Future Part 2, I gotta wonder, you know, besides a hoverboard and a bat, what else could he come with? But I would counter that also, because I like to play both sides, that this is an Ultimate Griff figure, and for $32.99, what is so ultimate about this? Because let us not forget, when the Ultimate line first kicked off, it was back when NECA was making figures of, like, multiple figures of the same character, and then they would combine them into an Ultimate figure that had the accessories and heads from, like, both versions. And then they just sort of kept that thing going, calling all their figures, you know, Ultimate figures, but they included lots of accessories. And if you compare this to, like, the other Back to the Future figures, those Docs and Martys came with so many alternate heads and alternate hands, and I think, honestly, they could have included some alternate grip heads. Actual grip heads, not this. I'm not even going to bother displaying this figure with this biff head. You know, some alternate heads and also some alternate hands. Like a finger-pointing hand would be much appreciated. That aside, though, that's not really enough to ding this figure for me. I like what this comes with. I think the quality of what they did here is great. I am very happy with how this turned out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure. And if you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to click subscribe.